Hi everyone, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Saturday, the 11th of May 2019. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm using the Goddess Tarot again for today's reading. It feels like a goddess kind of day, so I really like this deck. Let's have a look at what these cards want you to be aware of. The Magician, the Nine of Swords, and the Four of Swords. So if I had to, just by looking at these very quickly, if I had to just make a quick answer, is you have the power to overcome your fears and worries and to take action to resolve your issues on planet Earth. That's the simple meaning that I would I would go with. If we look deeper into the cards, we'll get a more detailed answer. So the Magician is the first card of the major arcana. It's about being in touch with nature here. This is Demeter, the goddess of food and wheat and abundance and prosperity. And she's bringing in the harvest here. So she is a magician in the sense that she creates abundance from nothing, from the earth. She plants these seeds and wheat comes out and it feeds the people. I mean, it doesn't get much more magic than that. We always take the miracles of life for granted, food, things that actually sustain us. The Nine of Swords is about worry and concern. It's hugging her pillow there, surrounded by knives, and the Wicked Witch is hovering over her. And that Wicked Witch are your nightmares, are your worries, are your fears, are all the things that tell you cannot. And that makes you feel isolated and alone, and it gives you a perspective like you really don't belong. You're an outsider. No one cares except your little bunny, who you've adopted, I suppose. We've got a bottle. She's drowning her sorrows, or is it a genie? Not quite sure. But she feels so isolated that she's sitting on the moon. So it doesn't get much further away than that. The Four of Swords is about meditating and contemplating before taking action. In this case, it's about isolation and fear. So we've got the Magician, someone who is able to create, then real worries and isolation. And because you're able to create and cut, you're able to cut away the fears, get involved on planet Earth because you're able to make a contribution, and you feel isolated when you feel rejected. So we don't like you, get away. But if you're responsible for creating food and making a wonderful contribution on planet Earth, then people come to you. So what you've realized now is that your worries are unfounded. You're not isolated because you're someone who's actively creating good things here on planet Earth. You're useful. You're adding value to your life and other people's lives. So people will be attracted to you. You see the true value that's inherent in yourself. I have to add to that you're valuable just because you exist. You're valuable because you're breathing. Coming to planet Earth, the most difficult school in the universe, you are valuable and you're worth joining and being part of the club just because you're a human being. But often in reality, it doesn't feel that way. After this week, though, you're really, and it's interesting that in this deck, she has a sickle because the Magician usually doesn't have a sickle, and she's able to cut away all of these swords by harvesting your thoughts. Swords is the element of air, remember, and thinking. So she's able to harvest all of your negative thoughts and transform them into life. So a lot of the things that you've been worried about for ages, a lot of the faulty beliefs that you've adopted and you've seen as true are cut away. You realize who you really are now. You realize that she has no power over you. She's something that you created. So I don't need to worry about money because money is not my security. My connection to a higher power is my security, or my ability to create and transform things into life is my security. I'm not unlikable because look, people are all around me and people are drawn to me, and I have a good time chatting and talking to people, and people are drawn to me and attracted to me. They just fall over. And because they fall over, they put you in this space of, okay, what now? What next? What next is that you make the leap, you get back on planet Earth at the most grounded physical level, and you continue to live your life, but now you manifest things that are actually going to feed you and feed other people in a spiritual way, in a physical way, in a financial way, loving way, any kind of way that you can imagine. You're creating love and friendship and good work and value and insight and spiritual understanding and healing and being a nurturer and being someone who defends the rights of others and someone who brings fire and joy and clarity into the lives of other people. So it's a total transformation because you've had a time out. You've sat on the naughty chair for a little bit and you've contemplated your existence here on planet Earth, which again, most of us don't have the luxury to do. How do I feel about my life today? We don't get to do that. The alarm goes off and it's like, okay, off to work. You've got to go. The things that have kept you awake all this time are now totally flattened by your ability to create and transform. So this scary evil queen has turned into a goddess of abundance, and she's also turned into a young woman who has hope and contemplates and who examines her life and says, as in Byron Katie's The Work, is this true? No one likes me. Is that true? No, because I have lots of friends at the office and from school who are still in contact with me. It's not true. So today she is turned upside down and the swords are pulled out because of the thinking you've done this week, because you've taken some time to look inside yourself, and now you re-engage with life. And you don't just re-engage with life, you land heavily and you add amazing, unbelievable value to the world. When you're vibrating at the frequency of the magician, you're going to attract other magicians, other people who are maximizing their potential, who are living their best lives, who are interesting, who are fun, who enjoy what they're doing. And those are the kind of people that you ought to have relationships with. People who aren't going to put you down or criticize you all the time. Or that tell you, no, you can't because you're not good enough and you have responsibilities. The only thing I'm not clear about are these two things. So I want to look at that. The bottle is contemplating, and if you feel isolated, a lot of us turn to drink and pills and booze and drugs to numb that pain out. So that's one option. Getting bombed on the moon and then just passing out, no problem. Other one is, there's a genie in here, like I Dream of Jeannie, that old TV show with Barbara Eden. Sometimes when we feel isolated, we go into wishful thinking mode. and we retreat into our own little fantasy world, and we're like, I wish I could be something, and it's feeling sorry for yourself, and you really embed the negative thoughts even more, because you say, I accept that no one likes me and I wish I had friends. Okay, the bunny is, I think, innocence, speed, Easter. What else do I associate with the rabbit? Yeah, speed of thinking, love, taking care of something, a companion, not feeling all alone. So even though she's on the moon by herself, she's never alone. So you can't really ever be alone in truth, because in spiritual truth, you always have your guides, the higher power, your higher self. They're always around you, whether they come across as a bunny or a rabbit. You can't ever be completely alone. If you look around yourself, you close your eyes, it's very busy around your aura. There are lots of people who are interested in your experience and existence on this planet. There's a speed of thinking here involved. This week, you've really been able to go through a lot of things and see things as not true, true, not true, not true, not true, get rid of, and you've done a lot of good work this week. And finally, the white is about innocence and spiritual truth. So you've been able to get to the root of your feelings and who you are. You've taken a time out. You've looked at all of these things that have kept you up at night. You've transformed them. You re-engage with life, and you know that you make a contribution. But not even that. You understand your own value. And again, we're all valuable just because we've chosen to come here. But for most of us, that isn't enough. We don't realize that. We feel valuable when we've written a book. Oh, I'm a published author. I feel proud of that. Or we feel good when we've had a child. I'm a parent now. I've done something amazing. I've left my mark on the planet. Or when we're a healer, I have healed someone. I feel really good about that. I'm valuable. Or when we're loved, someone cares and loves about me. I must be special because someone has fallen head over heels. And that's you falling in love with yourself today, realizing, yes, that you are valuable and that you do create wonderful things on planet Earth. There are lots of people watching this. So some of you will be healers, some of you will be writers, some of you will be parents, some of you will be doctors and artists and electrical engineers. It doesn't matter. All of you add value to the world in some way. You're valuable, this is what I'm saying, just because you exist. But the point is that you realize that for yourself today. And because you realize it, you own it, you raise your vibration, and then you manifest a life that is worthy of your standards. Because you ultimately, finally see the treasure that you are. You're a goddess or a god. I am God. I am a goddess. It's true. You're a splinter of the higher self. It's like in that Shirley MacLaine movie, Out on a Branch, or something like that, where she runs around on the beach and says, I am God, I am God. You are the embodiment of the higher power. You're a splinter of the higher power. And it's time you realize that. Because the Creator creates, and we are the creations of the Creator. Therefore, we create. And your life as it is created by you. So now that you see your value, you create more positive things in your life. So today is the first day of the rest of your life. 1 and 9 is 10, and 4 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5, and 5 is freedom. So because you're at this higher frequency, you now have freedom to create wonderful, beautiful, positive things in your life, because you see yourself for who you really are, a sparkling, shining, bright diamond. Have a wonderful day. If you'd like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. I use astrology, tarot, and numerology. I can answer anything like, what is my life purpose? What should I do work-wise? What's happening in love and health, and where should I live? What's coming up in future? I can answer any questions, what your strengths and weaknesses are, anything really. So if you're interested in a personal reading with me, please get in touch via the website gregoryscott.com, and I will speak to you tomorrow.